start for the Texans, only played 2 drives, but considering how well he played last year, how much do you need to see him on the field anyway?
DeMeco Ryans, think about this. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
They stormed the NFL last year.
Absolutely.
First preseason game, guess what? He puts his starters out there. I love it. I love DeMeco Ryans. I love his mindset. And guess what? They didn't disappoint.
So the Houston Texans finally got to take the field for some in-game action after a long-anticipated wait ever since they went down in Baltimore after that special season they put together that nobody could have ever expected, with rookie CJ Stroud breaking tons of records under center, really establishing himself as one of the better quarterbacks in the league right from the jump. And if it wasn't for that minor injury that he suffered that cost him a few games, we might have been looking at the best rookie season of all time. But that's besides the point. We got to see CJ Stroud in the starting offense on the field for a bit, and it went pretty flawlessly, ending in a touchdown. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the plays from the recent win over the Steelers. I'm going to talk about training camp news and everything that's been going on in Houston as of late. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so to start off, let's go over some plays from CJ Stroud and the Texans that stood out to me. So first off, this was a beautiful run stuff on Najee Harris, breaking through the offensive line before he even had a chance to sniff daylight. Interior defensive line play is definitely going to be super important for the Texans this season. Now for the offensive side, this was just a simple 2-out wide set, and Stroud steps back in the pocket, kind of gets bumped by the pressure, but is able to adjust to make a good throw to his former Ohio State teammate Cade Stover. Next, this was a beautiful throw to Tank Dell, who was able to show that burst of speed into the end zone. This play was just great to see after the injury, and it just kind of gave you a glimpse of what things could be like with Diggs, Collins, and just all the guys. Anyways, after the starters, Davis Mills played an okay game, throwing for 89 yards on 8 of 13 attempts. Robert Woods led the way in terms of receiving with 42 yards on 4 catches, and Dell was of course behind him with that 34-yard touchdown, and then Stover had 32 yards on 3 catches. Here's what some of the media had to say about CJ Stroud and the Texans' performance.
CJ Stroud showed everyone that wasn't a fluke last year. You're going to have to deal with me. Dell, who was hurt. Touchdown pass. I mean, they're playing against a pretty good team in the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively now. And he was like the guy we saw last year. He just completed passes on his first drive, took the team down there, scored a touchdown, and then put his baseball hat on and said, I'm going to sit on the sideline now.
We've seen quarterbacks evolve. We've seen them regress. Considering how well he played last year, the likelihood that he can get even better this year is what?
Well, he will get better, because he puts the pressure on himself. And remember, this team has expectations now.
One thing that has kind of been going viral over the last 24 hours is Stefon Diggs sort of getting into an altercation with Stroud after a Tank Dell touchdown. You can say what you want, I know how it looks, and I know the rep that Diggs has built for himself, but to me, it just seems like they were talking about routes or future adjustments, or something along those lines. I think people are looking way too much into it, but at the same time, some of the guys sitting on the bench watching it already look sick of this guy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Alright, now moving on to training camp. First up, let's talk about the defense. Linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair has been a force to be reckoned with. He's been consistently disruptive, intercepting passes, and stopping run plays. His leadership on the field has been praised by both teammates and coaches, making him a standout player in this year's camp. Another defensive star is cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. Building on his impressive 2023 season, Stingley has been locking down receivers and making key interceptions. His performance has been so solid that so many people now expect him to have another huge year coming up. On the defensive line, newcomer Danielle Hunter has been making waves. Replacing last season's sack leader, Hunter has been a nightmare for the offensive line, frequently collapsing the pocket and applying pressure on the quarterback. And switching back to the offense, CJ Stroud and Diggs have shown moments of brilliance even despite the recent altercation. Although the offense has struggled with consistency, their connection has resulted in some big plays during camp. And running back Joe Mixon, another new addition, has also been a bright spot. His versatility and experience are expected to add a new dimension to the Texans' running game. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The offense as a whole has been inconsistent. While there have been some standout moments, the unit has struggled to maintain momentum, often being outperformed by the defense in practice. Tank Dell has had some difficulties, particularly when matched up against Derek Stingley Jr. Dell has been on the receiving end of Stingley's interceptions and has struggled to make big catches in those matchups. But again, he did just have that touchdown in the actual game, which is usually way more than practice stuff. D'Amico Ryans really has emphasized the importance of hard work and having resilience. Despite the high expectations following last season's playoff run, Ryans and the GM have downplayed the hype, focusing instead on building a strong foundation and team chemistry. And moving on, now I want to more specifically talk about CJ Stroud. Like I said, last season was just special, but this year, he actually has some expectations on his shoulders, and even though I know he tries not to pay attention to the hype, it's hard not to see it, and a lot of players have proven to not be able to handle it in years past. But so far in camp, Stroud has noticeably stepped up as a vocal leader. His increased communication and assertiveness have been well received by both his teammates and the coaching staff, indicating that his confidence is most definitely growing. But yeah, despite some struggles, he has had some moments of brilliance. Notably, he connected with Diggs for a sideline pass that showcased his precision and ability to make big throws under pressure. The overall performance of the offense has been uneven, and Stroud has shown visible frustration at times. This inconsistency has been attributed to various factors, including the absence of key players like Pro Bowl left tackle Laramie Tunsil and running back Joe Mixon, who are both very crucial for the run and pass game. The offensive line's struggles in protecting Stroud and the passing game's lack of cohesion have also contributed to the challenges faced by the offense, and Stroud has faced significant pressure from the Texans' strong defensive unit. Players like Azeez Al-Shaair and Daniel Hunter have been particularly disruptive, causing multiple interceptions and collapsing the pocket, which has tested Stroud's ability to perform under distress. Getting away from all that, I think this truly is a much bigger season for the Texans than what people are saying. Yes, they are super young, and they have many years to compete with this team, but with the way the NFL is set up, in most cases, a Super Bowl window lasts about 3 to 4 years before something bad happens. And right now, Houston has all the pieces in place to make it happen. Here's what the media has to say about the team heading into the start of the season.
You know what his ceiling is right now?
It seems to be pretty high.
Oh, it's really high.
Well, how about this? Only Patrick Mahomes right now has shorter odds than Stroud to win MVP this season, according to ESPN Bet. Not Joe Burrow, not Josh Allen, it's Stroud who's second to Patrick Mahomes. Much more from Coach Herm's in a minute. Stick around.
That's all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next. Until then, I will see you all later.